Morning YouTube, hope everyone's good. So I've been digging in the YouTube mine for some YouTube gold and pulled a few things out. So I'm going to run a couple of premieres. Someone may well get a strike for or whatever. It is what it is at this stage. These channels are free and I'd say they're for educational purposes. Now you can't turn the time back and whatever, so but what you can do is from anything that was problems, etc. You should realistically be able to take something from it, learn something from it. I've asked a few people along the way, what have you learnt from situations that have unfolded, etc. Some people along the way have said, yeah, I've learnt lessons, blah blah blah, but then end up doing the exact same thing with the same wonky fucking people around them or whatever, the people that have literally stabbed them in the back and shit on them publicly. So I don't think as many lessons have been learnt as possible to have learnt, if I'm honest. So I don't know, sometimes when you listen back to things somewhat down the road or whatever, you pick up on certain things along the way that maybe you missed the first time round or whatever. Or maybe we'll see things a little bit differently now. I don't know, we'll see. So I mean, don't get me wrong, there's gonna be things that people hear and whatever and think, oh well, you know, I'll clip this, I'll clip that. It's bound to happen or whatever. For me, it doesn't matter if someone's done something stupid, something daft, whatever. Mistakes happen, nobody's perfect. As long as you can learn a lesson from it, do you know what I mean? It's something from nothing, innit? So yeah. I mean, to me, if someone's going to clip something and whatever, and you can then say, yeah, but you know, since then I've learned X, Y, and Z, and them lessons will serve me well in the future. If people can't do that, then it's kind of like the first time round is unavoidable or whatever, but the second time, do you know what I mean, if you get stabbed in the back by the same person twice, then you're a bit of an idiot, realistically. And I think, to be honest, few people around the situation which could have used certain things to their advantage or whatever, and them opportunities have been missed. So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But for some people that are willing to actually acknowledge things and maybe be able to things how they actually are or whatever, then it can only be a good thing. At the end of the day, you're never going to be able to you're never really going to be able to teach everybody anything or whatever. Some people are allergic to information that goes against their narrative. I think we've all seen it a good few times with Jupiter or whatever. Even though everyone knows what's being said makes sense and whatever, because it goes against the narrative, and people like Jupiter just don't seem to want to get rid of I think the term has been coined troll shields or whatever. It's one of them, isn't it? It seems like people like Jupiter can't do without them, even though she knows it's the ultimate poison in the well, in the community well. It seems that she can't do without them, which is pretty mad. Do you know what I mean? When that's causing you probably 90% of your fucking problems, to me it's not rocket science. You just remove the poison out of the fucking well. Stop making everyone sick. But everyone's got their own ways of doing things. Yeah, well, where we are on that score, I guess. But for everyone around these situations, these communities and whatever, I don't know, are you allowed to judge things for yourself? And are you allowed to judge things for yourself and make up your own mind? I don't know. For some I'd say probably not. But we are where we are. Now, the first two I'm going to put out, there's one that's quite a long one. I think it's about fucking 8 hours or something. But it's very messy. Quite a lot goes on throughout, and I'm not one for taking clips and little bits and bobs and whatever and putting it out and putting a narrative to it. It's one of them, innit? Full context. I think I've heard Jupiter say, oh, I'm not bothered when people put things out in full context, it's when they do edits and clips and all this whatever. So should suit the narrative really, if the words meet the actions. I mean, if they don't, then I'll probably get a couple of strikes, but yeah. So it's one of them. There is some bits in there where people have got an opportunity to acknowledge certain things that have gone on in the background, certain associations that have maybe been not thought about, not discovered. It's hard to say without saying too much. I'd rather it just play out, to be fair. So, but yeah, I think with a second look over things or whatever, there's a better picture, a clearer picture to be looked at once you examine all the evidence or whatever before, during and after, and knowing what we know now. So I think that's about it realistically. Yeah, I just think it's pretty mad, the people that somehow are trusted or whatever, even though they've literally stabbed people in the back, stabbed Jupiter in the back or whatever, and shit all over her, just to cause issues. I think it's mad that those people this far forward would be in a trusted position or whatever, and the people that have actually offered nothing but decent advice seem to be the ones that are like, oh, this person's not worth trusting, blah blah blah, this person's devious, blah fucking blah. It's just mad. It is proper mad. But it's YouTube, innit? It's the mad world of YouTube where up's down, down's up, and so on. So it's the topsy-turvy world of fucking PooTube, innit? So I think that's about it realistically. Other than that, I'll just let certain things play out. If Jupiter wants to send a lapdog out making strikes for her or whatever, that's fine. Like I say, these channels are free. It's not going to make or break my day. And everything, I've said this from day one to people, I don't know why they bother striking my channels, because like everything's backed up elsewhere where nobody can get to it, so it's nothing to just republish something. Yeah, it's mad. I mean, I've lost nearly 100 channels, well, over 100 channels now, or whatever. So it really is neither nor there. Your first one that you lose, you think, fucking bastard. You might not realise that what you've put up there can be deleted and removed and whatever, and you might lose a few bits or whatever. Once you've done that once, you're not going to get burnt by that again. You'll put stuff away, put stuff safe, and I've done that for years. So when people do shit and then make shit private and all that, I just laugh. I think, look, we'll just put that in the embarrassed box or whatever, because you're obviously too embarrassed to leave it up there. I'm cautious that people will use your own words, put them back out again once the remixes and the bullshit start or whatever. For me, I've been consistent across the board or whatever. When people lie and chat shit and try and just cause problems for decent people or whatever, so I mean, if I've got the evidence there to prove that to be the case, that these things are lies and bullshit shit campaigns, then I'll generally do it, even if I'm not keen on the person or whatever. For me, it's just one of them, innit? I've said from day one, if we can keep things clean, then it's of a benefit to everybody. I don't care who's being lied about, who's being doxed, who's having accusations chucked at them. You know what I mean? Even that the other night or whatever, tampon fucking Tom, fucking Phantom Tom, on Taffy's live or whatever, jumped on with some bullshit accusations to Taff from a little lowlife like fucking Captain Bill. and Tom's jumped on there for at least the second time that I am aware of. Pissed up as per usual. It's the only time Tom ever hits a panel, and he'll admit that when he's had a good drink or whatever. So you've now got Tom on there for a second time, coming out with the same bullshit accusations, and Taff said pretty much word for word what he said last time. Where's the evidence? You know, coming on here spouting shit from that fucking pissed up idiot or whatever. Have you got any evidence this time or whatever? Now, when it's one of them, innit? If you hear something and you say something, and then the person directly affected by it says, well, where's the evidence then? At that point, anybody normal would say, well, I'm not going to bring that conversation up again until I've got some evidence, because other than that, I'm just going to look like shit staring cunt or whatever. Now, Tom doesn't work like that. He just stuck on that drunk fucking loop or whatever, and he just keeps saying and doing the same dumb shit over and over and over again, expecting a different result. That's the definition of madness. Even that was pretty funny or whatever. We managed to get a few things out of Tom or whatever that Taff were aware of. Tampon Tom used to be a fucking troll for George Soros, so yeah, that was good for Taff to understand what this guy's about or whatever. Bear in mind, Tampon Tom was one of the biggest supporters, defenders of Hope Not Hate, Wake Up UK. The only time Tom's actually spoke out against that doxing centre, Wake Up UK, is because he got blocked by Jason at the time or whatever. So that's the only time he's ever spoke out. It's never been because like anything decent, anything fucking, do you know what I mean? It's just literally because his ego suffered a little damage by being blocked. So for me, it just shows you what these people are about or whatever. They're not arsed when all this vile shit's going on, but oh, you blocked Tom, and then he's gonna start having a little hissy fit, calling Jason out, Wake Up UK, whatever. Then he'll have a go. But all the other shit that came before that, not got an issue with it, has he? Quite happy to stand by that shit and defend that shit. Now, don't get me wrong, even dumbasses like Tampon Tom or whatever, they've got the uses here and there. I mean, it was Tampon Tom that actually went and did a bit of digging and a bit of research into when Eric did his video on the Amory Waters party or whatever. What he was trying to do was prove me to be wrong, but what he did do was prove Eric to be wrong. Now, you've got to ask yourself that question: why would Eric do a staged video, produce bullshit fucking wonky evidence to make it look like for Britain, Amory Waters party was innocent in all this shit and there was no ties to Hope Not Hate or whatever? Despite me, well, it's one of them, he didn't know I was gonna be able to put out evidence and put out phone calls to the top of that party where they've actually admitted, yeah, Graham Craddy came from, hoping that he didn't think I was going to be able to pull that out, but obviously I'm not fucking new to this game or whatever. I'm very aware of the tactics that go on and whatever. Sometimes you're best to just sit on the evidence, ask your questions, get people's reactions to things, and let people start producing bullshit videos and bullshit evidence and whatever to then pull out your bulletproof evidence. So that's what I did. Now I think that's about it. I'll probably put these two out this week. It's one of them. I've always got to do it so I can give people the time to absorb new information and whatnot, and that can take a while or whatever. At the end of the day, my channel doesn't really go that far or whatever. I'll say that as well. The premiers that are running whatever, if anyone wants to chuck in any evidence, any clips of this, that or the other or whatever, that's fine. People can do that across the board. I don't think many people are blocked or whatever. At the end of the day, that's just being fair across the board. So if someone wants to try and defend a certain position and whatever, by all means do so. It's not an issue. Yeah, we are where we are. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Hope everyone's good. Look after each other, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.